should be live. Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream repair. A few days ago, we left off with Eric's HomePod that had no bass. Racked our brain on the amp for quite a while and couldn't figure out what was going on with it, and actually have gone to quite ridiculous lengths to try to find out where this damn short comes from, and cannot figure it out. So we've basically removed like a good 3/4 of everything over here, and there's still a short somewhere that we cannot find. So I'm gonna look into buying some tools that will allow me to do voltage injection so we can start getting to the bottom of some of these mystery shorts that we keep running into. Anyways, let me double check and make sure our stream is good. Yep, looking good. Alright, so anyways, we've got Eric's HomePod here again. I've already got another amplifier completely working, fixed up, and ready to go. We're just going to sanity check here for you guys that this is all in good, ready to go working condition, and then we'll put his HomePod back together. And we've got a let's see, we've got one from Aaron that we need to fix and color up, and then 3 more from someone else that need to get fixed. So quite a bit that we need to do today. Let's get started. Of course, let's just go ahead and, well, yeah, multimeter's not up on the screen. Let's fix that. There we go. Make sure it's connected. Cool, cool. So let's power this back up. I already did most of the work before I started the stream here and totally forgot to start streaming, but we're going to sanity check this power's on, has bass, no DC offset or any issues, and then we'll put it back together. Excellent sound, great looking offset, around 3 millivolts. This one's looking good. So we're kicking the stream off with a pretty easy one so far, already fixed up, just need to put it back together. And I've got all these parts from that other board that I was trying to find the short from. Obviously, just pulling a bunch of parts off the board until the short goes away isn't the best method, but I was getting desperate, and I don't have the tools yet to do, and I've never really done voltage injection to find a short anyways. That is something that I definitely need to learn. Anyways, let me just clean up a little bit of that spare glue so it's not in the way. Let's get our ribbon cable back in. And then our subwoofer. Oh, how does the audio sound? Is there any weird background noises people aren't happy with? Just let me know. I'm always changing the setup, moving the mic and stuff and cameras around, so feedback is always welcome. brains back in there. What's rattling in there? I just built that PC and it's already rattling. All right.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Sounds good. Looks good, nice and lined up. Excellent. All right. Next up, we've got RNs here again. They've sent, this is not their first one. Probably won't be the last. Let's see, this one they want to have colored green. Let's see if we can find what was wrong with it. No power. Alright, so they bought this one straight from eBay and had it sent right to us. So we're gonna fix it up and then we will get it colored up later today. They chose green, and if you're curious what the green looks like or any of the other colors we've done for folks, you can head to my website, nixfix.com, and at the top I've got a customization section with some pictures of the different colors we've done. Alright, good to see this eBay seller took a little, some decent care in packing this. Let's take a look. So, just noting the overall condition before we color it up. Just something to know. Oh, poor thing. It's a little goofed up on the side here. It's a little dirty. We've got a teeny tiny little crack in the top. But still fixable probably, assuming this thing wasn't, yeah, no, it doesn't sound like there's anything loose inside. So let's shoot Aaron an email, let him know that we are getting started on this one now. Okay. Arin's been emailed, so first things first, we're going to check our symptoms here. Supposedly this has no power. And yep, that's certainly what we see here, with about 4 watts of power draw from the kilowatt there. So we've probably got the most common failure when that diode on the amplifier fails and causes the whole HomePod to no longer power on. But let's crack it open and find out. Yeah, this one's trying to slice my hand in half. I'm not having it. Already happened on this side. Hey, Chef, what's up? Nah, I never figured that one out. Ended up just giving up and swapping in another amp. I ended up removing half the parts off that board and still couldn't find where the short came from, so I need to get tools and skill at for voltage injection to be able to figure shorts out better. Subwoofer smells good. I hate this glue. 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 Everybody hates this glue. It's stupid. It's useless. It's dumb. All it does is make it irreparable. There we go. Can you tell that pissed me off a little bit there? I was about ready to set the thing on fire. The rest of this, though, should be smooth sailing. Goodness. There we go. Okay, so most common failure with these HomePods when we see that amount of power draw is going to be this Schottky diode right here. And of course it's got a date code of 1746K, which is what we normally see failing, so let's check that really quick. Yep, that diode is dead, or at least appears to be shorted out. So let's get it replaced and see if that's all it takes. And just like that, we've got our new diode prepped and put onto our board. Give it a few taps once that melts to make sure it's nice and centered. And we're done. Let's give this a chance to cool off, and then we will test it out. Excuse me. Okay, let's see what we've got. Very nice, we've got power. And an excellent DC offset result as well. Good sounding bass. So this appears to be ready to finish up. Fix this stupid camera again here. There we go. First, let's tighten up the power supply. And then we'll put the rest of the screws in for the amplifier. Hey, welcome back. Yeah, don't worry, we got plenty more to fix too. You didn't miss much. Dropping the base. Okay, we're not going to fully button this up because, of course, if Aaron decides that they still want to have this HomePod colored green for them, then we're going to have to take this mesh back off anyways. But reason why I'm not positive if they want to get it dyed or not yet, they bought this straight off of eBay and had it shipped right to me, so I don't think they ever had a chance to see its full condition. But the top is alright. It's in one piece. There's a teeny tiny little crack on the edge there. No big deal. And then the side of the mesh here has a bit of a rough patch. Overall, it's a little dirty. So if we dyed this, it would still come out looking great. But any stains that we would not be able to get out, and this rough patch on the mesh here especially, they're not going to look any better when we color it up. So we're going to wait to see if they want that or not, but let's just check and see with everything put back together, at least with all of their original parts, that this is working again.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Awesome. So let's stick this just back on loosely for now. We'll set this to the side until they decide if they want to go through with coloring it or not. Let's grab our next and final box, but it's got 3 HomePods in it. This one's from Justin. I believe we've had a few in from Justin before. Yep. Okay, so Justin sent 3 in. They want to get 2 of them colored. Blue or purple. Not sure if they want to do 1 blue, 1 purple, or both blue and purple. One does death farts, the other one does not turn on. Okay. Let's get their name up on the screen. Alright, here we've got the 3 HomePods. This one farts. This one does not turn on. This one works but pops. Okay. So let's go ahead and sanity check all of these really quick. We'll start with the one that works but pops. Okay, so yeah, it's not horrible popping, but we're gonna go ahead and we'll probably give that new filters. I'm expecting to see DC offset probably starting to fall out of spec, but not bad enough yet to really cause problems. Let's check this one that does not turn on. Yep, definitely doesn't turn on or do anything there. The typical 4 watts of power draw. And let's check this one last. Farting and popping. Oh boy. Okay. Yep, so that popping is getting pretty bad too. So both of these probably need new filters. This one, new diode. We'll see if these ones need new diodes too, if they've got bad date codes on those that are known to fail. Which one do we pick first? Eeny, miny, miny. We'll do this one first. Actually, they want to get... So I feel like these two, they want us to color at least 2 of them, the best 2 of 3. These 2 look to be in best condition physically. This one looks great, but it's got some imprints in the mesh. You can see like it's kind of dented in a little bit here, so that's going to show up more. Imperfections are going to show up more when you start coloring these. So we're going to want to do these 2 that look like they're physically all right. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We'll go easiest to hardest. We're gonna start with the one that works but pops, and then we'll move on to the one that doesn't turn on, and then we'll move on to the one that farts. Which, realistically, this one and this one will be essentially the same repair. This one won't be. This will be probably. Yeah, they're all easy. I don't even know. I don't even know. Here's what we're gonna do. Take that and we'll tape it to the bottom so we know which ones are which. I don't know if it matters. They might just factory reset these and reposition them, but if they're trying to put them in the same spot, then at least they'll most likely know which one's which, and hopefully that'll make it a little easier for them. So, number 1 works just fine. No present issues other than loud popping. So let's get it apart. It's gonna probably have too much DC offset and need new filter capacitors. So let's put that up on the screen. Oh, no, it's not hard to stump me on these. We get people in the Discord server all the time popping up with issues that we still haven't solved. And I still have, oh man, dozens of amplifiers with issues we haven't solved. And of course, it's a lot more difficult when I don't have my hands on other people's boards to help troubleshoot their issues. And quite honestly, from what I've seen between my experience and other repair channels on YouTube, majority of issues do seem to tend to come from people's own mistakes, and then maybe not even usually being aware of the mistakes that they made. So they go in thinking that let's say for example, somebody's got a HomePod with no power, and they were able to successfully diagnose a bad diode, as most of these have. But along the way, they're unscrewing something and they accidentally break a tiny little resistor off the board, accidentally bumping the screwdriver somewhere, and they may not even ever notice. And that something like that could take forever, if even possible, to figure out. Especially when we don't have schematics for any of this, it's just complete guesswork. For the most part, trial and error. I end up spending hours just pulling parts off boards and swapping them around until something changes, until it works, gets better, or gets worse. And Apple thinks this is the most, that they're being, green and eco-friendly this way. How many resources do you think are being wasted between my time trying to figure out all of these issues on my own, plus everybody else doing their own, and then all of these parts that are just deemed irreparable and only good for pulling for other parts now because we don't have schematics to figure out the most basic shit. Because the greenest thing is to throw it away and buy a new one. Excuse the rant, but you do 1,000 or so of these and it starts to get to you. And every day that passes is just a day that we get further away from ever getting our hands on schematics or like a way to restore the software on these. Because that's not totally planned obsolescence or anything to sell a $350 smart speaker that runs an operating system with iPhone hardware and then give users absolutely zero ability to restore the software on them when they push a software update that bricks their products. Blows my mind that there was a class action lawsuit. I can't find whether the case closed or if Apple's still pushing it back and forth or not. But there was a class action for Apple intentionally breaking HomePods with the OS 14.3 update. And I swear I saw somebody post a picture getting a settlement check from it on Reddit, but I cannot find it anymore. Like, does it really hurt their bottom line that much to not let people fix their own stuff? Is that truly why they believe they're a $1 trillion company? Like, this isn't like complaining about misaligned body panels on a Tesla not being being the wrong priority to complain about. Doesn't matter if people care or not to fix their own stuff. We need to be concerned with what happens when we put all these resources into making this stuff and then throw it away after a year or two. Even if it's going to be broken down and recycled into its raw materials, that is so much more wasteful than just fixing it. Letting it continue to work for potentially many, many, many more years. The whole saying, like, the triangle, reduce, reuse, recycle, that's in order on purpose. And the order is from most to least effective and efficient. Reducing your consumption obviously is going to be the most effective. But then you've got reusing, which is going to, again, be far more effective than recycling things. And Apple has opted to recycle things instead of reusing things, which that's okay. If you as a company want to recycle the components instead of reusing them yourself, perfectly okay. But don't forbid consumers from doing that with their own products when they buy them from you. And force them into a path of paying basically the same price as a new one, which will then, of course, incentivize them to buy the new one. When there's usually no reason for people to need the latest and greatest when they've got the last gen or so of something. Let's go ahead and connect this to our test woofer, which is connected to our multimeter up on the screen there. And let's see if this popping is at a point where our filters are bad or not. Or if it's just normal amount of popping. It sounds a little louder than it should be, so I'm expecting it to need new filters. I don't know what my guess is. I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably got 150 millivolts on a cold boot here. And then, of course, it will grow over time as they warm up to operating temperature. Hey, look at that. I was pretty close. It looks like it was around 150 to 200, and it's growing rather quickly. So, yes, this certainly does need new filters, even though it's not death farting yet. It is doing enough DC voltage through the amp and into the woofer that it can cause damage over time. Though typically when it's bad enough, it will death fart on you. So, here we go. New filters. Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like at the end of the day, for every one customer that Apple pisses off, because of their choices they make that were ultimately, from being anti-repair. There's probably another dozen people that are born on the planet that are going to become Apple customers to completely offset it. And so it may not even matter so much. I don't know. I could be totally wrong and dumb. But it may not matter so much if they can't keep customers for more than a few years if they manage to get so many new customers every few years too. Okay. So first thing I wanted to check was the date code on our Schottky diode here. It's got a date code of 1742K, which is not known to fail, nor does it look like it's been put under any extreme stress or load. So we're making the bold move here to not replace any parts that don't need to be replaced, that have no reason to replace them. That diode in particular, we know enough now that only ones within a certain date range are failing. It's not an improper part. It's not too weak for the job. It's not a poor design of the amplifier. It's just simply a bad batch of those parts. So we can tell by the date code whether that diode was part of that bad batch of diodes or not. That one is good. I've also updated the info on my website too, I believe, saying pretty much don't worry about the diode unless it has that date code that's known to fail. Anyways, so that basically means all this should need are some new filters to bring that DC offset under control. And then easy peasy done. Wow, taking the heat. Do I need to put a new coil in this heat gun here? I don't know what the expected lifespan is of these things. No, I think I take back what I said about them not caring about keeping customers long term. Instead, rather, what I think is they would rather just continue to incentivize customers by any means necessary that they need the latest and greatest, and what they've got ain't gonna cut it anymore. And what you can get, you can do so much more with. When in reality, oh man. I am perfectly happy with waiting a year or two and buying the last year's flagship smartphone every time I go to upgrade, because what I had before that is already so much Like, it's already going to be such an upgrade. Way better CPU, more memory, more, better camera, all that jazz. Basically wait until it's justified and it's not just a minor bump with a few fancy bells and whistles. Damn, he washed it and it died. That sucks. Oh yeah, I'm willing to bet, especially if the phone only started acting up when the battery would get low. That's definitely just a tired battery no longer providing enough consistent power. I ran an iPhone 6S and a Note 8. I think those were the longest phones that I ran with for 2 or 3 years, and then I had my Note 10 for another 2.5, 3 years. I only replaced my iPhone 6S with the 11 because I needed the new version of the phone with all the multiple cameras to test an application that we were developing for work. And apparently the CPU in the 6S isn't fast enough to fucking decode and render 6 H.264 channels at 480p. Whatever, Dan. That's what I'm talking about. Our offset is now well under control. Anything less than 50 millivolts is our target. Anything less than 10 millivolts is ideal. And we're holding relatively steady, so that's good to go. And the popping has been significantly reduced as well. It's back to a normal level of popping. I've got some samples on my website if you want to do a quick comparison of what a bad pop versus a good pop sounds like. Is not always the best judge for whether you have a problem or not, but it can be an indicator. In this case, it turned out to be a correct case of judgment, and it needed new filters. Yep, that's spot on. Two things that lithium ion batteries do not like are staying fully charged and staying fully dead. They love to be between 20 and 80% charge. I hear one of my HomePods is popping. Yeah, we're about to have a live stream for myself. Is it this one? Oh, damn. I don't even have that one plugged in. Alright, that's about as far as we're going to get with this one because we're going to be coloring up this one for them. But we'll go ahead and slap the rest of this on there really quick. Okay, and we can go ahead and double check and make sure that that popping has gotten better with our new filters while I grab the next one. Hey, that's a lot better. Okay, next up, this one that does not turn on at all. This is not, wait a second, is this the one that we're going to color up as well? I believe so. Yeah, because this one with the farting is the one with the dents in the mesh. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to take it apart, fix it up, put it most of the way back together so we can color it up later. Alright, we already checked our symptoms. We know what's going on with this one. It's got no power and it pulls around 4 watts from the wall, which means it's most likely that diode that's our usual no power culprit. Also listed under the common issues on our website, nixfix.com. I never let the Discord server know we were streaming. And no one uses it anyways. Except for WID and all their car posting with their rust bucket. Of course, Discord opened up on the monitor on the other side of the room. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. They only missed out on half the repairs, but whatever. Who was it that car posts? Oh, no, not you. Lewis car posts. Nope, I got you and Lewis mixed up. Balls. Let's try that again. There we go. The server was lit, but it also didn't have any real direction. It had no like central like theme to it or anything, or the only thing that really attracted everybody to the server was the fact that, you know, that one guy that raps about anime titties posted the link around here and there, and we would hang out in there. We've done a couple of fun projects over the years, but in general, we don't have like a, well, until I started doing like HomePod repairs at least. But that's more like a me thing. That's not like a where the original group of friends came from kind of thing. Brain power. It was fun. Yeah, the HomePod and Leftover Weeps server. Straight up. I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. I look live. I don't feel live. I get what you're trying to say. Very nice. I'm sure you guys will appreciate that that color on that one more than I did. Boop, 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 boop. What have we got? Look at that roasty looking diode. 1746K. Who would have thunk? Let's give it a quick test and just confirm. Yeah. Alright. It should be pretty easy. We'll just give this a new diode and see if it needs any other attention. Oh, I'm surprised they just sent you out replacements and that they just straight up had tips that weren't magnetized. That's interesting. Good on them. You stay there and stay put. Ooh. Where did that come from? Can't have no hair on my boards. That costs extra. Do a flip. Do it like this. Wow, what are we gonna do on the board? Pump, 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 pump. That'll do. That'll do, donkey! Go on. Go on. Alright. If you're having troubles getting this cable in here like I am right now, see it's like crooked. It's not going in straight. Make sure that the lock is all the way up. And then Just gently wiggle it around. Try to assist it. Come on. Come on. There we go. And then it'll snap and settle into place where it needs to go. Once that white line is level with the top of the connector, we can push it down to lock it in place. That one was giving me a little more trouble than they usually do. So I figured I'd make an example out of it. But what usually happens with these connectors is people are way too rough with them and they break them right off the board. This one is tricky because it's got the tabs on the side that won't let you slide it straight in like you expect most ribbon cables to. You have to actually put it in at like a 45-degree angle, slide it in, and then you can lock it up. That one was interesting to figure out. Hey, we've got power. I just want a good offset. Give me a good offset. Yes, baby, yes. Excellent. Good power, good bass, good offset, good little HomePod. Let's button this one up. And like I was saying before, we're not going to get this one fully put back together because we still have to take the mesh off and color it up for them. But we can do most of it. Obviously, I like to try and make sure we can fix these first before we color them when people want to get them colored. And then the coloring itself can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour per HomePod. Plus the time it takes to dry it and then put them back together again. But what takes the longest is getting the pot of water up to temperature, and then second, how long it takes for each of the parts to take the color. The mesh can take anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes to take the color. The plastic top can take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, and the power cable, same thing, can take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, depending on how deep of a shade and how rich you want the colors. Some people still actually want a little more muted look. They kind of want a little bit of the white to still kind of shine through with the color more as more of an essence and not over, too contrasting. But it's nice when we get multiple people that want their HomePods colored the same color all at once, because then I can just reuse the same dye bath to do multiple pods at once, and that cuts down on the time a lot. But if you're asking me, $40 to have this colored, absolute steal, considering how much time and effort it takes. The cost of materials, whatever. $10 for the bottle of dye. You can find them cheaper elsewhere if you look hard enough. Oh yeah. I didn't even see you ask that question. Yes, you can absolutely. And this is just general like dyeing advice. And it says it on the back of the bottle. You can reuse your dye bath as many times as you want. It's because I believe as it evaporates, as the water evaporates, it's just that's evaporating, the water, not your pigment. So if you start running low, you could just add more water, bring it up to temperature again, and you should have essentially the same dye that you did before. So if you've let's say you're only going to do a couple a week or something, or you're spacing them out, and you want to do, you could save that dye bath if you don't want to dump it out. But you don't have, if you don't have them all the HomePods you want to dye at once, you want to save the water for another day, yeah, totally fine. You want to make sure you keep it clean and, you don't get dust in it. If you're doing them all like in quick succession, though, that's the best way to do it, of course. Wait until you have a couple that you want to do the same color of and then get them all done at once. A single bottle probably isn't strong enough for a bucket of water big enough for multiple at the same time, but one bottle is strong enough for a standard, like, big pot, big enough for a HomePod, and strong enough to color. I'd say at least 4 to 6 HomePods before you start losing too much of the pigment. I haven't really tested it. That's just a really conservative guess. I've done 3 at most with the same bath, and I couldn't tell a difference between the first and third one, so long as I did the exact same duration. So I imagine you could do quite a few with the same bath. Alright, here we are again. This is about as far as we're going to get it put together until we get it colored. But we'll go ahead and check and make sure that it still works with everything as is. Alright, number 2 is powering up.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Excellent. 2 for 2. That leaves us with this last one. This one farts. So our offset has gotten so bad that it's triggering those death farts. Let's get that up on the screen. And we'll begin. Oh, I also think it's best that we'll color those other two as opposed to this one. Not just because the mesh has a bit of an indent here and there, but also because they still have the plastic film on this one. So if they wanted this colored, I would have to remove that film. We'll go ahead and keep this one all original for them.
Say hi.
Child.
Baby Joe.
Hold on. Where's the
baby cam?
There we go. Say hello to baby.
Say hi. We're gonna go get the groceries, okay? Be back.
Let's add a crop so you don't have to see my ugly mug. There we go. Hello, little chow. We're fixing a flatulent HomePod. This one's filter caps have gone bad, as they all will naturally do eventually. A sad and unfortunate fate every HomePod will eventually experience. Ultimately, every electronic will experience, because ceramic capacitors just naturally decay over time. They lose their effectiveness, and depending on their role or their job or their application, it may matter more or less. You may never notice, you may notice. In this particular case, where this capacitor is used as a filter for the audio, it becomes very noticeable. And Apple didn't seem to put any thought or design into that fact, so I'm gonna... When they die, they die, and there's no backup, there's no failover. That's it. This is basically the equivalent of making the oil filter in your car inaccessible to the point where you have to remove the engine to change the filter. To change a part that's a known maintenance item that needs to be needs to be replaced on an like at an interval. And you're gonna bury it deep in there with no fail safes, and then glue the thing together and ask people to pay for a new one when all it needs is a new oil filter. That's essentially what's going on here. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, Chell. Understandable. Mm-hmm.
I gotta use
It's you and your cactus friend? Really? Understandable. Sometimes I feel the same. No. What's going on? You want something to chew on? You got this. This is pretty chewy. Yeah. Those teeth are coming in. It cannot feel good. Subwoofer looks to be in good condition. Always want to take a close look at that when you're dealing with DC offset that may have potentially damaged it over time. But that one looks to be in good condition still. Really? Oops. Don't make fun of me. Hey. I know you're just doing it for attention. Really? What can I do for you? Yeah.
What's wrong?
Say goodbye, Chell.
What are you crying for?
What a grumper. Okay. You guys know the... Excuse you. You guys know the drill? Let's get some new filters on here. Get some new filters on here before I freaking... my lungs explode. Looks like we've got a diode with a date code of 1748K on there, so that's going to need to get replaced as well. Uh-oh. Alright, that looks like ass. That is better. Oh yeah. Alright, let's flip this back around. We can't ignore that Schottky diode over here because, like I was saying earlier, these do have a bad batch floating around between 1746 and 1748K, and here this has got 1748K on it. So even though it is still working fine now, it is highly likely to fail sometime soon, so we're going to get it replaced before that happens. I don't want to have this thing come back for something that we knew was going to happen. At least, something like this. You know, new filters every 5 to 10 years, that's whatever. That's okay, that's acceptable. But this part shouldn't wear out and fail. So, it should work pretty much forever. Unless you've got a bad batch of them. And here's a diode that is made the way that they should be. We'll get that prepped and put on. And then we can sleep easy at night knowing that that old diode on here isn't going to fail on them, and we're going to get an email from them in a few months. Hey, that HomePod that you fixed for death farts, it's not powering on anymore. Yeah, we don't want that. We used to replace this diode inside of every single HomePod, no matter what date code it had, but we've had enough come through, we've done enough of these, we've seen enough examples to know enough and to rest easy if it does not have that date code, and to get it off the board if it does. Still haven't heard from the manufacturer of this diode as to what's going on with the failure rate of that specific batch in particular. But that should take care of this board till it needs its next oil change. Alright, let's see if we've got our offset under control. Yes, good bass, good power, good offset, good to go. Let's put this back together and we'll be all done for today. What a child. Alright, don't mind the extra screws. Obviously we've got a couple others that we didn't fully put back together because we're planning on taking them apart and coloring them, but this one is all back together. Let's make sure we're good to go. Hello? Oh. It was factory reset, I guess. I don't remember that. Well, it sounds great. No severe popping. Excellent. So, we've got everything that we needed to fix up today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. Shoot me an email. If you're looking for more info doing your own HomePod repairs or getting yours fixed or customized for you, head over to the website nixfix.com where I've got common issues, my contact info, other people around the world doing the same thing even. Yeah, so hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye!